There he is.
How are you?
Mate, I'm good because it's Friday after the most weakiest week of my life. Like after Christmas, I
Oh
feel like I feel like I've been working a full like 8 months in this week alone.
my God. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's nuts. It's nuts. And also, I did something crazy. I've eaten more. I've just been crashing. Christmas is a series of crashes because it's sugar up, alcohol, whatever, crash, 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 and you're trying to work on that, you know?
There's no other time of the year that you wake up and go, it's 8 o'clock. Shall I have some champagne and cheese?
Hey,
Why do we do it?
why did I just have a piece of chocolate for breakfast? I don't, that doesn't make sense, you know? And now I'm gonna go have some eggs Benedict, but I started off with chocolate. Why did it just, everything just gets turned on its head.
I mean, you actually had me at chocolate for breakfast. I was kind of like, actually,
You should try that. Some good chocolate in the morning with your coffee before you have the proper meal. Piece of chocolate with the coffee, boom.
I feel like a whole series coming on now, Cooking with Chuck. I think this could work. If Peacemaker doesn't work out, we can start a YouTube channel. It's going to be great.
With Chuck, you know, just like a cheeky whatever, guys that aren't real cooks, but they just get together talking about crap and just do what they do when they cook. And the number of really good meals that come from people being good at throwing shit together is kind of crazy, you know?
Which is what I need because I could burn cereal. Let's chat about Peacemaker because
Great.
honestly, Chuck, I've wanted to talk to you about Peacemaker as soon as it was announced. Like, I'm so excited for this show.
Oh, wow.
You play Clemson Murn. I mean, interesting. Obviously, Clemson's an original character written specifically for Peacemaker, which is amazing. Do you find it to have like more or less pressure introducing a brand new character to such a loyal fan base?
Neither, especially when it's James Gunn, because even if it's an established character, it's going to be James Gunn's version of it, right? And I honestly, I'm not trying to hedge my bets with that answer. It's really neither, because at the end of the day, you know, there's the script, there's your instincts with it, there's you bring it, then there's a director. So I don't, because if I start thinking, mate, if I start thinking about pressure of what people expect when it's DC and I mean, I think I'm a DC and Marvel fan because of the comics I read. That's nothing compared to you. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I'm probably just the beginner. So if I start thinking in those terms of, or what do they expect, where I wouldn't leave room for my interpretation of it. And ultimately, the reason James hired me, the reason he wants to work with me is because of how I connect to it. So the hope is that you, the great fans of it that know everything inside out, are ready to embrace that version of it. But I don't add more pressure to myself by worrying about, you know, whether I will fulfill. I mean, therein madness lies, mate, you know?
I'm glad that you're not adding pressure. Imagine if your first answer to this interview was, yeah, there's so much pressure, help me, and this just turned into therapy.
I hate this. In fact, I don't want to be doing this interview because I'm still recovering.
You're not the first person to say, I don't want to be doing this interview to me. You won't be the last either. Clemson is this tough, no nonsense, commanding presence. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're lovely. We've started our own cooking YouTube. You're a delight. Yeah. Clemson, on the other hand, oh my God, you're intimidating as hell on TV.
Oh, good.
If I were a betting man, who would win in a fight, an all-out fight between Clemson and Amanda Waller?
Oh, well, you know, you've seen the series, so you know more than your viewers right now will know so far, unless they see this after the 13th. So I would probably win, but I have to dig deep. I would have to dig really deep to beat Amanda Waller. But that's why I might lose, is that probably outthink me. You know, she would probably outthink me. It would seem like it's just an all-out fist. Let's just go for it, animal. But she'll have something in the bag somewhere, wouldn't she? You know what I mean? She that's Amanda Waller. You know, she'll have some. Super troopers would drop in the last minute, or I'll be standing over a pit of sharks covered up, and I wouldn't know, and just drop into them or something. You know.
I mean, again, I really like you, but I'm picking her side simply for Viola Davis.
You just can't see Viola Davis losing. You know, that's the problem, is that ultimately it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah.
For me, it's no offense, my mum will be watching this. My mum and Viola Davis, that's how it goes. Sorry, mum. I'm going to get so many angry WhatsApps now. I'm actually a little worried about Peacemaker because when I saw the Suicide Squad, I spent a lot of money on merch. Like, I've got shirts, figurines, a calendar. Like, I've got like a little ornament we put on the Christmas tree.
There's some really cool designs on the shirts, don't they? They have some really cool.
Really
yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm worried it's going to be the same after Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So have you seen any, I like to call this hashtag Murn merch?
No, I haven't seen any Murn merch yet. You know, I don't know what they're planning to do with that, but I do have to say, I know one of the fun things about this is when I went in for the costume fitting, I was talking to the designer. I was like, so what's going on? And she said to me, well, you know, James has told me that I can just trust you because you will know what this guy should dress as. And I was like, really? Well, I see this guy as James. I see this guy as James Bond, but not in a suit. You know, think James Bond when he's trying to be casual. So Murn's clothing is pretty damn cool. So if there's Murn merch, it would look pretty damn friggin' cool. Do you know what I mean?
That makes you a lot cooler than me. Because if they said, leave it to you, I'd be like, Murn would come out with a feather boa, fireworks out the back, platform boots.
Big, like, flower glasses and all that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd have looked like Elton John.
Absolutely. No, it's like, no, this guy's like, you know that look where it looks like it's functional clothes, but you look at them and they cost like $7,000 for the shoes. Do you know what I mean? But they look like functional. Do you know what I mean? They look comfortable, but then you find out why they're so comfortable. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that was good thinking from you. What do you want to wear? The most expensive clothes you've got. That'll be my costume.
Expensive stuff you can get your hands on. And at the end of the shoot, I'd like to pay a visit to you guys before I head out. You know, I take a few things.
Did you manage to steal anything from the set of Peacemaker?
Bloody Lucely. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got a jacket. I got some cool trousers. I got 2 jackets and a cool pair of trousers and a watch. I got Murn's watch. If you notice, have you noticed the watch?
Yeah.
It looks like Battlestar Galactica. I'm a real watch fiend. I was like, I have to have that. Oh, I took that. Yeah. I did well out of Murn.
This wasn't even a job for you. This was personal shopping. It's great.
No, this is all personal shopping. It was the end of the year. I needed some things in the locker, you know.
Naturally, this follows on from the Suicide Squad. So this was always going to be a very sweary series. I'd love to know who's the sweariest character on screen and who's the sweariest actor off screen.
Okay. No, I think I'm the sweariest character on screen. I absolutely. I mean, listen to me.
Yes.
And the sweariest character on screen. The sweariest character on screen is me, but the sweariest actor off it, of that bunch. Ooh. I'd have to, probably me too. But in that way, the English swearing, you know how we put fuck in front of everything that's good?
Oh, God, yeah.
Or shit. That's sort of I call it careless swearing. Where we don't think about it. So if you're doing a word count of swear words per other word, I'd probably win. But the person that probably uses it most creatively and whatever as a person is probably John Cena. Yeah. But we always win. The Brits will always win because everything's fucking the dog's bollocks. Everything's good, bad, whatever. It's just,
I just want some fucking water.
Water.
Like, I just want to just.
Why? Yeah,
fuck.
yeah.
Fuck, that was delicious. There you go. It worked.
Exactly. There you go.
When the Suicide Squad came out, I was lucky enough to talk to some of the cast before it was released, and I spoke to Sean Gunn, who played Weasel. And he assured me he'd be fine, that he'd survive. Bang, about 5 minutes into the film, Weasel dies. Excellent. I spoke to David DeSmolchin, who plays Polka Dot Man, and he assured me he'll survive. I'm watching it all the way through, like, yep, he's got my back. Right at the end, bang, he dies. I realised I can't trust anybody.
Yeah. You can't, yeah.
What is the kill count looking like on Peacemaker? Are we saying higher or lower than the Suicide Squad?
Oh, no, you're not. I mean, think of the Suicide Squad, that one scene where they go to the camp to the whatever, how many people they kill it. No, Suicide Squad wins. You got, I mean, the kill count on that was ridiculous, but we do a good job. We do a really good job.
You sounded
We do our
really
best.
proud of that. You get a little gold sticker for being a good killer.
No, I think there's a good number of deaths in this. If you can make people laugh while you're blowing people up, that's an achievement, you know.
I mean, to be fair, Suicide Squad had a giant starfish rampaging through a city.
And you can't really count. It's unfair to count squashing 12 people with one step. That's not really, you know, creative killing, you know.
But to be fair, John Cena could do that.
Yeah. He could with one punch.
If John Cena did a starfish pose, he'd be the same size as Starro.
He's huge. I was like, Jesus, it's just solid muscle. I'm just like, wow, I'm so emasculated, you know. But this year, James Gunn has single-handedly, you know, between working with John Cena and then on what I'm working on now on Guardians 3 with Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, you know, Will Poulter. I mean, massive. I'm just like, I'm completely emasculated. You know what I mean? Like, what?
Well, lucky you, I'm really weedy.
That's why we're getting on.
Famously, Murn does not find Peacemaker funny. Like, he tolerates him at best. Now, I imagine that was a whole different story when you're filming it. Was John Cena just cracking you up? Was he like making you ruin takes?
There's whole bits of it that where James would just let him. John doesn't stop with cuts. John just keeps going. He just keeps going and keeps going. And then Steve, who plays Economist, will keep going with him. And then Danielle Brooks will keep going with him. And Jet. And I'm sort of like the straight man. You know, we come from that tradition of English theater where you only do what's written. We don't improvise. What do you mean improvise? It isn't written. So like, I would just let them go at it. And John would make us, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be wonderful blooper reels and extras and stuff like that. You'll be able to see stuff that doesn't make the final cut, but that the world should see of hilarity. And no, it was funny to keep. There were times when I was worried, would we ever get this shot done because of cracking up? Like, I'm genuinely worried that this is now a problem. We can't keep us straight, you know. And that's always, it's great when you woken up at like 5 a.m. in the morning and it's an early day, and then you go on set and then you're tired, but then that stuff happens and you're laughing and the crew's laughing and James Gunn is laughing back in producer's island that he's watching from on his God mic, laughing over the God mic. They're like, this is heaven. We're lucky to do this, you know.
Well, that's what stresses me out about John Cena, because I'm like, okay, so you're ripped, you're an incredible athlete, and you're funny as well.
Yeah.
Leave some talent for the rest of us, bud.
For other people.
It's stressing me out.
It's disgusting. Pisses me off.
I spoke to Idris last year and I was like, you know what? I want to get some dirt on John Cena. I want to get something. So I asked him, like, what did John do on the Suicide Squad that was embarrassing? And he said he used to rap, but rap, like he was awful at rapping. Because obviously Idris Elba can rap really well.
Yeah.
John Cena is an abysmal rapper, apparently, which, you know, I'm happy with.
But he'll still do it.
Oh, yeah. I can't rap at all. But in my mind, I'm like Eminem compared to John Cena. So I feel like I got one up on him, which is great. Did you ever witness John either rapping or doing something else that would, quite frankly, humiliate him and make me feel better?
No, I didn't get. I don't think I saw John doing the rapping. So I haven't witnessed that, because that would have been fun to see, because it would have sort of brought him down a few pegs. But no, he didn't. All he did was be very masculine and very funny, you know, which is disgusting. You know, he pulled off what he wanted to do. You know, he did play often in breaks, play the piano, because he likes to play the piano. And I do remember that it did embarrass him because he was pretty good. He did a version of Claire de Lune that was very good. But I remember thinking, that's something I might possibly be better than he is at, you know?
Oh!
But I kept that to myself. I didn't want to fight. I might have to, now I've put it out into the world. I was like, I might have to have a piano off with John Cena.
I am tagging John Cena every day on Twitter until he tracks you down and pianos off against you. I can't wait.
Pianos off with me. I was like, I wonder. Maybe that. No.
I've just started a feud and I love it.
With John Cena and whatever, we're going to piano off.
You mentioned him earlier, the icon that is James Gunn. Like, I would happily have James direct every movie from now on, and I'd love it. How was it working with him?
It was a joy. It's a joy. And not only working on that, but as you know, working with him now on Guardians, he's one of the most subversive, original, driven, talented directors out there. Like, we know that, nothing is as it should be with James in his hands, and it's not coming out of a place of just trying to be different or whatever. It's coming out. He's driven by heart. He's really he feels a lot. James. He's a real humanist, and the skill set to be able to take such an extreme genre, superheroes or comedy, high comedy with superheroes and violence, Suicide Squad, to use those genres that aren't often associated with character development and actually put a lot of character development and heart into it, I think is his superpower. And I think he's unique in that sense. It's difficult to find room for real humanity when you're dealing with $200 million budgets and whatever and stuff like that. But that's his gift. These are the stories he loved as a kid. These are the comics he read. These are the shows he watched. And he said, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it with all this stuff I love: music, heart, soul, commentary, social commentary. And he puts it all together. I love working with him. I feel, mate, I feel so, I don't know what I did right in a previous life, but here I am. And I enjoy working with him, and I think we collaborate quite well. He pushes me. He really does push me, not just, and I've worked with some of the best, legends, Sam Mendes and Richard Ayres, and I'm very lucky, to have that. And he's just right up there in pushing, in finding stuff and allowing you to breathe as an actor, but at the same time guiding you. It's a real joy.
You said it there, like, obviously you've worked in Peacemaker, you're doing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
I say we just complete the James Gunn hat trick, get you in his next film. Have you heard that he's writing a Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner live action movie?
No.
Yeah.
Doing next? Oh my God.
I know. Imagine how sick that is going to be.
That's the thing. How many other directors out there, when given the option, what do you want to do, would say, I want to do a live action of Wile E. Coyote, and Roadrunner? That is amazing. I did not know that. I'm going to text him and say, what?
You know what? Me and you, who do you want to be? Do you want to be Wiley or do you want to be Roadrunner? We could do it.
Roadrunner. I'd want to be Wiley. I'd want to get that. But but he never wins, does he? No, I'd be Wiley. I think I'd be Wiley.
Yeah, to be fair, you're better at remembering lines. All I've got to do is meep. That's all
exactly.
I got. I've nailed that. I hear Oscars. I think I'm going to get an Oscar, bud. Obviously, you mentioned Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. James said after working with you on Peacemaker, he had to cast you for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because, and I quote, I'm going to read this word for word, you're one of the best actors he's ever worked with. I mean, he's worked with the likes of Elliot Page, Margot Robbie, Chris Pratt, like amazing A-listers. This must feel amazing for that, to hear that.
I couldn't believe it when I heard. I really genuinely couldn't believe it because I have a jobbing mentality, especially growing up in Britain. We don't take ourselves serious. You know what I mean? I have a jobbing mentality. I'm very lucky in my background. I've worked with great, directors, and I've had a chance. I mean, I grew up, as you might know, with theater. So that's mainly what I've done. Film and TV is still relatively new for me, relatively speaking. So for me to come in with a guy like him, who, as you say, works with people of that caliber, and certainly for Guardians could have had anyone he wanted for this role, for him to have that faith in me, that's what you need as an artist. In the old days, they had what were they called? The people who sort of sponsors. They had sponsors back in the old days and whatever. And today we need champions. We need people who believe in you and say, I know you don't know who this guy is, but you need to work with him. Because how else do I get a gig like that? A gig like Guardians. It needed that, So what I do in return is hopefully give my all, and make sure there's nothing left when he says cut and the end of the day is done. Make sure I've given him all the options and brought those years of experience to the fore, because that's what he's hiring. If he was looking for a marquee name, he could have done that. He wanted my performance. So I try every day when they yell cut to have left everything on the stage,
Well, it's clearly worked out for you because, again, James said that your role, it was sought after by, and again, I quote, every big name in Hollywood, that they all wanted this.
Wow, yeah.
Have you seen the rumors that you're set to play the High Evolutionary?
I saw those recently. I've seen that. I saw that. I saw Silver Surfer. I saw Nova. I've seen. I mean, it's. I just can't. For me to wrap my head around the fact that I am the subject of speculation on the internet is kind of fun. It's kind of fun, but I have to stay mum. I can't tell you. I'd love to.
Oh no, and I totally because if you said it, I think someone from Marvel would assassinate. Like I'd be shot right through my window.
No, the video feed would just cut right now. Marvel right now could cut this video feed right now in the second.
They're watching me from across the street. Yeah,
that's what you don't know. They're watching from across the street. They could cut the feed right now. Do you know what I mean? But
I studied psychology at sixth form. I did abysmally at it. I didn't do great, really bad. So I'm going to just say some of the names. I'm just going to look at you. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to move.
Okay.
I just want to try and detect from your facial mannerisms.
Okay.
So I'm going to say the High Evolutionary. Your head tilted 2 degrees there. I think you know what that means. Silver Surfer. Oh, nothing happened. I don't know what that means. And then Nova. What I'm hoping is that your camera froze and really you just went, yes, I am Nova. And it froze and I just missed it. Imagine if you just confirmed it and it just froze. That would have been gutting.
Wow.
I am hoping that you're playing the High Evolutionary because he has connections with Adam Warlock and he's set to appear in the film, played by the incredible Will Poulter.
Oh, well.
How's he been in this film?
I first saw Will as playing Son of Rambo. Did you ever see that movie?
Yes,
as a kid? You know, I remember watching that kid and go, who the hell is this kid? And we were in Underground Railroad together, which we didn't film anything together, but we were in the same show. So it's so cool to like work with him. And we live in the same building. Actually, he's upstairs from me.
Shut up.
Yeah. I can't tell you where though. That's the same.
What you'll do, you'll open your door and I'll be stood there. Please, where is he?
He's great and such a lovely kid, a lovely guy, and he's huge. And that's the thing. I always thought on screen Will was probably I would have put him at about 5'10", 5'11". Will's like 6'3" and huge. I was like, I totally got that wrong. But he's a great guy, and he's gonna be a wonderful Warlock. I mean, he's made to play the role. You know what I mean? He's great.
If you'd like to, just slide a note under the door. Tell him I'm available for a chat. You know, help me out here. I just got you a gig in the Wile E. Coyote movie. This is the least you could do.
This is the least I could do, yeah.
What I really want to know is Will going to be painted gold in this? Because that is a sight I would like to see.
If I knew the answer to that, I couldn't tell you either. Again, Marvel waiting to press the whatever.
It was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. You can keep taking shots. We can spend it all day and see which one eventually warrants the severing of the of the line. Yeah.
I usually end these chats with people and I say, like, what would you like to do next? I'll say something like, would you like to do a TV show about this hugely acclaimed character that everyone loves? But you've already done that with Peacemaker. I'll say, like, do you want to be a Marvel character in one of the most anticipated movies? You've already done that. So what the hell is left, Chuck? What can you possibly do?
Well, there's two things actually that's thematic. One of these, my family, we have a production company called Chudo House, and our focus is, we're from Nigeria. Our focus is not only doing work that has Afrocentric, specifically Nigeria-centric, but also to bring a lot of talent back to Nigeria. You've heard of Nollywood, but to sort of raise the quality of it. Like, I would be part of a couple of things we're working on to film with, and so that we can develop apprenticeships and really develop that pool of incredible talent in Nigeria, the writers, the directors, the actors and stuff. And we have a project which is very close to being greenlit right now that I would be part of. That it's sort of like a detective noir, but instead of being set in the original place, like in London, it's actually set in Lagos and London, but predominantly in Lagos. So developing that Nigerian film industry is huge. on an even and just as personally, you talk about playing a major figure. I'm attached to play James Baldwin in a project. So that would be that we're hopefully very close to getting greenlit, and that would be amazing because he is just has been so influential in my life, influential in the dialogue in American race relationships and stuff. But he is James Baldwin, who was ultimately this incredible artist. So I think it'd be great to do something kind of grounded and not in this world, to mix it up, because this world takes care of itself. It's its own juggernaut, and it's a privilege to be part of it. It's nice to mix things up. Do you know what I mean? So those would be a couple of things that I'd be interested in doing. Yeah,
I'm with you. I get tired of all the Marvel movies I do as well. It's knackering.
You're like, oh God, please, not again. Who am I playing? Yeah.
I'm playing Nova, which means you're not. It was worth a shot. It really was worth a shot.
That's right.
I tried. I was hoping to catch you off guard and go, yeah, you're right. Bye. Dude, thank you so much for this chat. It's been brilliant. Thank you.
What a joy. You were so much fun. Thank you for having me on the show. I feel very privileged. That was quite a roster of acclaimed people. So I'm glad you decided to have me on too. Thank you, mate.
Oh, no, thank you very much, mate. And have a brilliant 2022. Although I'm going to put money on it, you will have a brilliant 2022. Listen to what you've got going on.
Thank you so much, man. And stay safe out there, yeah?
Yeah, you too. And I'll chat to you for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 next time when you're playing.
Oh, yes, when I'm playing.
Marvel has taken over this stream.
See you later. All right.